My channel is Georgia Girl, Everyone Wellness. And today I want to tell everybody Happy New Month. And I want to wish all the school kids a successful school year. Hope you all stay safe. Teachers, bus drivers, principals, anyone that is participating with the kids this year at school, I pray your year be safe. Today I'm just doing a show about school bullying and cyberbullying. How does that affect our children? A lot of schools went back today, some went back yesterday, and some went back today. This is a new school year for the kids. A lot of kids are probably excited to be back at school. They get a chance to see their friends that they haven't seen since the last day of their school. My grandkids go back on the 8th. Hey, Double Speaks, how are you doing? Good to see you. Do you have any kids? Do you have any kids going back to school? Today I'm talking about school bullying and I'm doing awareness on school bullying and cyberbullying. So do you have kids going to school? Or you got nephews, kin people? Today I just want to share and talk about it because this is very important. If you have a child in school, talk to your child. Oh, that's awesome. It's good to talk to your children, know what they're doing, ask them how their day be when they be at school. Find the signs if you pick up of them being bullied or something like that. Try to notice the signs of how they act. If they start acting different, if their grades start falling, or something that you know out of the ordinary that your children are not acting the same, those are signs you should be able to pick up on. You know, a lot of kids be afraid to tell when they're getting bullied because they have to go back to their school and other kids make fun of them and things like that. So that's what I'm talking about today, and I hope that your son have a good, safe school year. We have to protect our babies. We got to make sure that they're safe. And whoever's for president this year coming up, I pray that they do something to help our kids to stay safe. So we know it be gun violence and things like that. And that's what we got to vote for. We got to vote for the candidate that's gonna help protect our children. We don't need to lose no more kids to gun violence. We don't need to lose no children to bullying and suicide. Cause bullying help it drives people to suicide because they get so feel a certain way about themselves. You know, a lot of kids be insecure. A lot of kids be feeling down because they see other children with maybe a pair of new LeBrons on or Jordan, and they probably are not able to afford it. But I tell my children, be thankful for what you have, because there's somebody out there wishing what you got. So that's what my commentary is today about. Let's make sure we keep our children safe. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm bouncing back. I started my wellness journey. I'm on day one. I started this morning with my smoothie. Y'all don't forget to check out my videos, my shorts. And of course, I'll be sharing my dinner probably in a premiere after I finish this live. This is a 30-day journey I'm going on, just changing my eating habits. The foods that give me flare ups, I will be. No, I'm not a teacher, but I'm a child of God, and I'm so very concerned about our children. You know, I talk about wellness over here, and I'm not talk about our children because those are the ones that we work hard to have things for. Our children are our future. I wanted to be a teacher, but no, I didn't. I'm not one. Sometimes they call me a teacher, but sometimes my people over here be calling me a teacher, but I'm just a plain old Georgia girl that's trying to put out things to help others. If you're new coming in my chat, if you want your link to be dropped, just type the word troopers. So I'm gonna get into my commentary today. I was asking, do you have any children? Ajax, do you have any children? Are your children excited about their school year? Have you talked to your children about bullying and cyberbullying? And one thing I always tell my grandkids, don't start a fight, but if someone provoke you or someone do something to you where you have to defend yourself, of course, do that. We are not going to let nobody just think they can just bully us around and get away with it. But if it comes to the point where it gets out of hand, where your child is not eating, or if they don't talk to you about their day, it's good to ask your children when they come home, how did your day go? Did you have a good day today? Uh, get involved with their assignments if you're able to. So today I'm talking about how does bully bullying affect our children? What impact do it have on our kids? That's what we're talking about today. And this is it can be adults also. If you feel like someone is bullying you, it's mind over matter, it's something wrong with them. That's one thing I don't do. I don't pick at nobody's children. I don't have the reason to pick at no one. And I don't want nobody to pick at my children. I'm not for that. If I can't lift you up, I won't tear you down. So, all the kids that are going back this year, just know people are praying for y'all's safety. My children are going to a different school. I usually be there when they were staying closer to me. Hey, welcome in. When my children were staying closer to me, my grandkids were staying closer to me, I would able to see them get on the bus, and I would pray all during the day to keep them safe, and I would see them when they get home. That is a parent prayer when their kids leave out the house in the morning. Some might get a kid sugar. After they get a certain age, the kids don't want to kiss you and everything, but let them know. Let them leave home in a good mood. It's good to wake up in a good mood. If you wake up in a good mood, a good attitude, you start your day would be right. If you wake up with H in you, your day probably gonna be having H all day. So it's good to wake up in a positive attitude. So today I'm talking about how do bullying impact our children or adults. Or there are adults get bullied also. Um, it's school time. A lot of the kids are excited. There might be some children last year. Some might be getting ready to graduate next year. Some might be just going to the kindergarten or pre-K, or some are just probably going to the school. Okay, it's time for you to go. You're welcome to my chat, as long as you're coming out with being respectful. See, that's a bully right there. I think bullies are cowards. That's what I think about bullies. I think they are cowards because they can't front you. They won't tell you what they think. They always have to do it in a way. But I'm like this. I don't have to bully no one. I don't have to even start with no one. I can say it in a way where you will get it. So my commentary today is concerning our kids. Bullying can have harmful and long-lasting consequences for children. Kids who are bullied are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, increased feelings of sadness and loneliness, changing in their sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activity they used to do. setting patterns and laws. If you know your child, for instance, when your child get up in the morning time, you know what they do. They get up. They, some kids take baths in the morning, then they might do a shower and take baths at night. They might do a shower in the morning, or they either or. And some might eat breakfast before they leave and go to school. But you know when your child leave home, you know what kind of attitude they does have. If you're up and you're able to tell your child, I hope you have a good, safe day today, and just tell them to stay to themselves. But if someone bother them in a way where you need to report them, please do. Be involved. Be involved with your children's life. You can be able to talk. They can be able to come to you when something is going on, and that's some of the biggest problem with our children. People won't listen. They think that some of our children just basically, some of them probably do want attention, but you have to give them that attention, especially if they're being bullied. The little girl that was coming to my channel, I hadn't seen her in a couple of days. I had been sick and I bounced back. I'm bouncing back. But the little girl that was coming over here saying her own family was bullying her. It can be somebody right there in your family can bully you. It can be your bigger brother or sister. And you got bigger brothers and sisters. So they always feel like they got the upper hand on you, but because they're older, but they don't give them the right to pick on you, pull on you, beat you. They don't have that right. You can play, but you can take certain things to a certain extent. And if you got someone in your house that are bullying their siblings, that's where the parents need to step up and look. We ain't having this in this house, because they would carry that on with them throughout the day. Or they'll go to school having a bad attitude. They'll probably take it out on other children, and that'll be the wrong thing to do. You have to deal with things as they come. If you know you're being bullied, if you know someone that's being bullied, they have 1-800 numbers where you can call. There's someone out there for you. Never feel like you're alone. So if you got children going to school, all of a sudden their eating habits stop. They stop eating the same way. And they said they come home and don't have their shoes or their material from school or anything that you bought them, and they don't have it. You can ask them what happened to it, but then if someone bullied them and got it from them, they probably would be afraid to tell. Of course, I'm drinking lemon water. That's what they got. A lot of schools have counselors. Um, they try to be there for the children if they want to talk. Because I know when my granddaughter was going through her episodes of that, she did have a counselor at school. And it's good to have counselors at school, someone that your children can talk to, because a lot of people are afraid to speak on bullying to their parents. They feel like their parents or other people will judge them. Like I said, a bully is weak. They're cowards. They won't tell you what they want you to know, but they'll get behind the computer screen. They'll get behind their phones and put derogatory things about you on social media, or they'll say something about you in the public. But the thing, what I'm saying, that is not a good thing to do. There are some people are weaker. Some people can't handle, a lot of kids be like, well, we just playing, or we just jiving, or what they call it, roasting. And because there I have seen adults roasting each other. I have seen where people take things out of proportion. A lot of people don't like jokes. I've never been the type to, when I was in school, I never was the jokey type. I never was the type to try to belittle another person. Because in my eyes, I don't care what color you are, what state you from, or even if you come down to your channel. I don't know what your channel is, but I know what I stand for. And I know that putting others down is not a good feeling. That's why it's good to, if you have a platform, if you choose your platform to treat people in that way, that's on you. But we have to set example for our young kids. They They watches us. Whether we believe it or not, our kids probably watch us to see how we'll react to certain things like bullying and cyberbullying. And they feel like, if my mama doing it, I can do it too. So just be a reminder that it starts at home. Everything does starts at home about how you treat people. And you have to treat people according to the way. If you don't want people to treat you a certain way, you shouldn't treat others. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So today I'm talking about how bullying affect people mentally. It'll drive them into depression. It'll drive them to suicidal thoughts. That's why you got a child in school. You know how the older kids, they're good about, they don't want to tell people what's been going on or how their day was. But you know, like the older kids, you even though if you 11, 12 years old, you still consider you're a child anyway. But after you get to your teen and puberty years, you don't want your mom to give you sugar on your jaw or hug you out in public, or you do that in public. I feel like, oh, you ain't gotta do that, mom. I'm a big boy. I'm a big girl. But show your children the affection that they need. Give them the attention they need, because a lot of people are missing that in their lives, especially when they have to go to school and have to deal with other children. There are some children, it might be a group of kids that be wearing the name brand clothes, and there might be a group that don't. But never look down on someone that has lesser than you. Because there have been probably once upon a time that your parent was not able to get you those expensive shoes or get you that Nike outfit or anything like that. Just be careful how you treat people's children. And one thing about me, I never have, and only time I got involved when my son had got into it at school, right? Him and his cousin, and let me tell you now about kin people. If you got kin people in the same class or go to the same school, they see something going down, you know they gonna stick together. They gonna stick together, because that's what happened to my son. Him and a guy got into it at school, but his cousin, he ended up helping him. So sometimes we have to think before we do things, because sometimes things like that be unnecessary. You get involved instead of trying to fix the situation. You make things worse than what they are. So that's what I'm talking about bullying today. You can have long-term damages from bullying. To me, bullying is just another form of abuse. When you try to blast a person out in public, you might put their names on social media. And a lot of people, that's why a lot of people try to stay safe on social media. They don't like to put their government names out there, or their addresses, because there are some evil people out here. They prey on people. A lot of people loves to prey on others. Not pray, but pray. They prey on you to try to get in your head. They try to get in your head when they carry on the way they do. They want to see how you gonna respond. Sometimes you gotta be the stronger person. That's why I tell my children, don't don't start a fight. Don't go into school picking. Be who you are. Be who you was raised to be. But if there are kids out there that bullying you, make sure you bring it to your teacher attention. Come home, tell your parents about what's going on. A lot of children like to take things in their own hands. You see how a lot of them get so angry, and they bring it home. But instead of them telling their parents, if they know that I'm talking about guns now, if they know their parents got guns or any type of weapons in the house, they'll take it upon themselves and go back and try to get even with that bully. And see, that's some of the things the parents have to step in and look, to talk to their children and see how they day been. Say, look, how was your day? How was that test? Do you think you did good on that test? Be involved. Be involved in what they do. Um, and it's good to know what your children doing. You know, 9 times out of 10, kids don't supposed to have cell phones in the school, but some of them do. Some of them do have their cell phones. Cause I know my granddaughter, she have text me a lot of days. I'm like, girl, where you at? And you know, if you have, if your children old enough to have, hey, Sassy, how you doing? I'm over here talking about bullying and school bullying and how it affect your children. Do you have children? Do you have children? Some people have went back to school. Some started today. Some started on Monday, and I know my grandkids will go back next week, and they'll be in a new school. Cause they moved in a different town. And yes, I'll be worried about them because, hey Frank, how you doing? I'll be worried about them because they'll be in a new environment, and they got to meet new people. And you know, when you're new going to a school, some children like to test you out. You know what I'm saying? If you're meeting somebody for the first time, if you're good, that's good. Yes, they all grown. I have one grandson. Wow, that's awesome. I have two grown children. I have three grandkids and one great grand, and three of them going to school. And that's good, Frank. Good to know that you're doing well. I'm feeling much better. I started my journey today. I woke up this morning. I cooked I made a smoothie, and I just finished my dinner. I just finished eating, so I probably look full. Um, I just finished my salmon and rice and broccoli. I got a premiere be coming up. Y'all can see what I ate today. This is day one. I thought it was gonna be hard this morning. I got up this morning and I made the smoothie. Yes, I usually drink a ginger ale maybe a day or throughout the day or so. It's all in my refrigerator, but I chose to just stick with water and lemons. So, like I said, it's a mind thing and everything you do. And today, since school is starting back, I always talk about protecting our children, making sure our children and grandkids are being safe. And it go the same way when you got kids in daycare. You know, a lot of people don't like to put their children in daycare because they know how a lot of people treat their children in daycare. Hey, servant. Sassy said, I was going to ask about your health. Good to know that you started on your journey. Yes, I prayed this morning. I said, God, this is going to be challenging. I just eliminate the foods that give me flare ups. I have to eliminate dairy, sweets, just deal with more fiber and grain. I can do it. Y'all will probably see me slimming down after a while. But it's a mind thing. But my message today was to talk to the parents that does have children in school. Talk to your children. Bullying and cyberbullying is very serious. It happened all across the world. It turns some kids to suicidal thoughts. Like I said, some children, they're not fortunate maybe to have some of the things that other children have. Some might come to school with a better name brand clothes, and then there might be somebody that not as fortunate enough to have those things, but they feel like they have to pick at the ones that are unfortunate enough to get those things. But I tell my grandkids, be thankful. Be thankful for what you have, because someone is praying for what you got. You might not be able to get everything you want, and that's a goal for me too. I might not can get everything I want, but I do have what I need, and that's essential things in life. Having a roof over your head, something to eat. If you have a way to go, that's also good. But the things that are very important to you, that's what we got to work on with our children. But when children are being bullied, they feel a certain way. And other kids are so cruel, y'all. Some children can be so cruel because they was cruel to my granddaughter. We experienced my granddaughter getting bullied. She wanted to kill herself. We've been there. We've been through all of this. So I can speak and I can do awareness on something that I have witnessed. I was so glad that we was praying people that we was able to reach my granddaughter. And she just got off the phone with me. I said, I know you. I said, you want to come in my chat? Just type in the chat because I'm live. And she know I talk about bullying all the time because she was there, y'all. She was had suicidal thoughts. She was there. And you said praying for our kids for a safe and successful school year. That's right. I'm praying for those teachers. Somebody just came in and asked me, was I a teacher? I said, no. I said, that was my dream to be a teacher, but you know how things happens. I was not able to go to school, but that had always been a dream. Sometimes people over here call me a teacher or stuff like that. You know, they be saying the way I be talking and I try to spread the word and stuff like that. Yes, yes. 2 years ago, my granddaughter, they took her there, and it mentally messed up all of us. And she ended up having a baby, and this what I don't want to cry, y'all. She said her baby saved her. That let her know that she had something to look forward to. Thank you. When she had her baby, it just like that's why I said children are most precious. People don't know if you got children, if you want to have children, if you don't have children, just know how precious and valuable they are to us and how much joy they bring to our lives. If you have nieces and nephews and you treat them like your children, just know they brighten up today because I could be feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my granddaughter, she'll text me, she'll send me some pictures of them, and it just put a smile on my face. I just got through talking to her a while ago, and she know when I talk about my bully segment. She's 16 now, and she does have a baby. She's a young mom. 'Cause my granddaughter was very insecure about herself. She let them took her there. And when people can play on your weakness, when they play on your innocence, your intelligence, they feel like they got you. And I am a praying woman. I prayed for her. She had counselor to help her. And then she ended up pregnant. And that let her know that she had a whole lot to live for. Looking at her baby every day, remind her, he need me. And we all need her. We need our children. We need to tell our children how much how much we love them. Have a good communication. There are some parents don't get along with their children. Some children don't get along with their parents. The older kids, they feel like, they don't want you to tell them what to do, or they might, I already know this. You ain't got to keep telling me, but still, talk to them. Let them know, look, let them know not to be caught up in the wrong crowd because trouble is easy to get into, but it's rough getting out of. So I have a 13-year-old grandson, and my grandson, he's one of those kind where he like trying things. He like his sports. He like to be involved. And I know he's going to this new school this year. And I told him, I said, look now, follow your mind. Do not follow the crowd. Or they have gangs up there. They have different things up there in the area they stay. I said, look, you don't have to be a follower. Because you see a group of kids doing something, that don't mean you have to do it. That's where us as parents, grandparents, aunties, mothers, that's what we have to come in and play it. Talk to your children. If you see anything, if someone is doing something to you, bullying you, taking your lunch, taking your money, and some even try to take their shoes or school supplies, and just being devilish. If you run into some people that does those type of things, they're bullies. So what I was reading about was the long term effect that it does have on children. Um, I think bullying is another sign of abuse. It can be verbal and it can also be physical. Words does hurt. I don't care how many times you might say stick and stone might break my bones, but words will never hurt. But yes, they will. It just the action with the words. People can say things and they don't realize they're hurting your feeling. And sometimes you have to be the better person and look, say, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Hey, how you been? I had been sick. I'm bouncing back, but how you been doing? Good to see you. I was just talking about bullying. School has started back. Do you have any children? Do you have any children? I was just talking about how the effect of bullying affect our children. They can have long term um, illnesses. It affect them mentally. Cause some children don't. They be afraid to tell when people are doing them wrong. They can be being abused. They can be being bullied, and they be afraid to speak because they're afraid to go back to school because they'll be saying you're a tattletale or you're a snitch or something like that. Oh, okay, but yes, school has started back, and I would just I always do awareness on different things. Most of the time, you come to my channel, you gonna find something that's gonna be helpful. But I'm doing much better than I was. I had a little health scare last week. I had pain. I was having pain in my chest. I got to go to a heart doctor next Wednesday. And I also started a new chapter. Changing my eating habits. Trying to stick to foods that don't give me that many flare-ups because I does have a ongoing pain disorder, and I'm sticking with foods that give me fiber and calcium and things that are mostly needed for me. And so I'll be sharing different things on my channel. And I just want to bring that up about the bullying because it is serious. You'll realize that bullying is one of the number one causes why our children commit suicide. Did y'all know that? The effects of bullying. Kids who are, I'm just reading right here. Y'all know I read over here now. I read over here. I read over here, and I'd be like for y'all to know what I'm reading about. They said the effects of bullying. Kids are bullied. Kids who bully others can also engage in violent, other risky behavior into adulthood. And that's what I was saying. If it starts at home, you know, we all was raised up until our adulthood how to treat people well. We was taught to have respect for others. We was taught to respect your elders. We was taught to, if you are able to give someone a helping hand, if you see an old lady crossing the street, if you are able to help them go across the street, help them. Don't knock them down. Don't make this old lady feel bad. Anything that you can help someone, God, you will get your blessing. Hey, Miss Key, how you doing? I'm talking about bullying and the effects of bullying. Hi. Hey, Conscious, how you doing? I'm feeling much better today. Y'all know I'm over here. Somebody asked me, was I a teacher? I said, sometimes my moderators be saying, we in health class, we in teacher class. But today I just wanted to do awareness on bullying. Our precious babies, some of them have went back to school today. They went back Monday, and they're going next week. And I was just saying how the effect or how this affect our children. And when you see your children hurt, you gonna hurt also. I have two grown children, and I'm constantly like, y'all okay? You know, but when I was sick, they wasn't doing me the same way I be doing them. We still gonna hurt right along with our children, whether they're grown or not, because those are our children. So if you got children going to school this year, talk to them. Let them know, look, if you're being bullied, please report it. If your teachers don't do anything, make sure y'all can type the word troopers and y'all link will drop. If the teachers do not do anything about bullying, that's what you got school board. That's what we got voting for. That's why we got an election going on now, fixing to happen. We need people in office. We need people in the schools to make sure our children stay safe. You know how they just walking up in these schools shooting people. They need to get better laws for our kids when it comes down to gun violence. So right here, I'm just showing the different effects about people getting bullied. Talk to your children. You know, like the older kids, they don't want to. They feel like, I think when kids start getting over 10, getting into their teenage years, they feel like, oh, I already know that. You know, they don't want you to babysit them no more. You know, 11 or 12-year old, you try to kiss them on the jaw, they'll be like, ooh. They'll feel like, don't do that. Because I be doing my grandkid like that. Like when my grandson had hit, was at the basketball game, and he had hit like 2 or 3 punts. I was just hugging and kissing all along. He like, Grandma. You know, we just like to show our affection, but the older kids, you know how they get sometimes. But the message I'm trying to tell today is that talk to your children, know what's going on with them in school. You're be involved. So the ones that got children in my chat, do y'all like to be involved with your children's school work, or do you like to, like when your children come home, they might have to do a project or something? Do y'all like to be involved? If you got grandkids or nephews, nieces, you know, they be like, my kids, they be like, I got to do this project today. If you're able to assist your children, would you do that? Miss Keith, I know you have a son. I know he's a little bit older. How is he about you showing affection to him? Like, you know, I know he's like my granddaughter. They don't, the older kids don't like, they want to be tough. You know what I'm saying? They try to assume to be tough. They're still babies now. Even though they're 16, they're still our babies. But I know that you be involved with your child, you know, when it come down to his school, and um, when it comes down to the PTO meetings. Find out what's going on. Be involved, you know. If your children doing any type of projects, or they need their parents assisting on anything, it's good to support them. And if they're being bullied, please listen. It's good to ask your child, how's your day? How was your day today? Did you have a good day? Ask them about their school lesson. You said, Sassy said, I did, my kids were in school. My grandson is in another state. Okay. And so you have to, and that's right, you have to, and if you like me, because my children in another town, you still want to make sure they safe if they're not right there with you. Hey, CBS, who is that? Okay. But yes, I was just reading about kids who are bullied. Kids who are bullied can experience negative physical, social, emotional, academic, and mental health issues. Kids who are bullied are most likely to experience depression, anxiety, increased feelings of sadness and loneliness, changes in sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activities they used to do. Enjoy. These issues may persist into adulthood. Health complaint, decrease in academic achievement, GPA and standardized test scores, and school participation. They are more likely to miss, skip, or drop out of school. Wow. A very small number of bullied children might retaliate through extremely violent measure. In 12 of 15 school shooting cases in the 1990s, the shooters had a history of being bullied. And see, that's what I was saying. You know, we know a lot of us does have guns in our homes. And 9 times out of 10, some of your children know where you keep your guns at. And someone can bully a child so bad Well, you think you done hid this weapon, they go find it. And they go and take it to the school. And that's what I was saying. Talk to them, know where their mind at. And if you know your child's history, if you know that he's been bullied a year before, they had problem with bullying, I don't think it's safe to leave no weapons around, knives, guns, anything. I don't think that is a good idea to leave weapons around no one that you know have had a history of bullying others, because this is something like a long term thing, and it can go into adulthood. It can affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, academic. Just for instance, your child been making straight A's. All of a sudden, they start making bad grades. You gonna want to know what happened to my child. I mean, he just was bringing straight A's home today. The last semester, and then he'll come in and bring his report card, and he done went down to a F. The first thing you gonna ask, what has happened? What's going on? What has changed? 9 times out of 10, some children won't tell their parents why they're failing. And it could be the effects from being bullied. You just don't know. Or it can be where a teacher, and sometimes we have those teachers where they have their pick and chooses. They have like their teacher's pet. They have the ones that want to have them to do this and that. And you know what I'm saying? We all have been in a classroom where there's a teacher's pet. Anybody in my chat have been a teacher's pet? Be honest. Where you be in class, she have that person passing out the papers or helping her grade the papers or having her doing things. And then sometimes they let things like that get to their head. They feel like, well, I'm the teacher's pet. I don't really have to do my work. You know, that's what I'm saying. A lot of teachers have our children thinking like they're not smart or thinking that they can't do anything. You know, sometimes you have to check those teachers too, parents. Sometimes you have to check those teachers too. That's why, you know, we ask a lot of questions in my household or in my daughter's household. We'll say, who your teacher is? They nice? Because I know one time my daughter was saying she didn't like one of her teachers. He was a male teacher now. And I said, what is he doing to you? She said, Grandma, he just always be saying stuff like, you know, just some of the littlest things. And I'm like, have he tried to, she said, no, it's just that he is annoying. And, I didn't know that was the man she was talking about. She told me, you know that man we had met that day? I said, oh, him. And then I said, I was telling who grandmother I was. He said, oh, yeah, I know her. She in my such and such class. And my granddaughter, like, he used to be so aggravating, but I would tell her, if he would get so in a way where you have to report people, it ain't like you being a snitch. It's not like you being a telltale. You do not need to be at school being bullied by no teacher or no students. You shouldn't have to go to school feeling uncomfortable sitting in your class. The teachers are there to teach you, not there to make you feel a certain way, acting like children. The teachers supposed to do their jobs also. Because if those teachers don't do their job, they can be replaced. Bus drivers can be replaced. That's why you have to be mindful. That's why it's best to talk to your children. It's best. And I always talk about bullying all the time, cyberbullying. That's not something fun to do. That's not fun to do, and I don't do that. People might take my words, or they might take the way I talk as being a certain way, but there's one thing I would not do. I don't like to hurt no one's feelings, and I don't want nobody to hurt mine. If you have to put things in perspective and put it in a way where you don't have to do all that cursing. You can tell a person what you want them to know in the nicest way as possible. They'll get it. If it's something that someone wants you to know, it's a way of getting these words out. But social media, people turn to social media as they try to take that to defame others, try to belittle others. And cyberbullying is a crime. If anybody's being bullied or cyberbullied, please report it. Please report it because it can be something done about it. Because that's messing with your emotion, and it'll mess you up. So it's the kids who bully others. Kids who bully others can also engage in violent or other risky behavior into adulthood. Kids who bully are more likely to abuse alcohol and other drugs in adults and as an adult. Get into fights, vandalize property, and drop out of school. Engage in early sexual activity. Have criminal convictions and traffic citations as adults. Be abusive toward their romantic partners, spouses, or children, and as adults. And what they mean by this, like I said, everything starts at home. You see a child acting out. You see he's not being himself. You have a 13-year-old child. You know they aren't supposed to have no alcohol. If you suspect them drinking or doing something out of the ordinary, that's where the parents supposed to come in at. The parents supposed to check their children. And of course, when it comes down to sex, we are supposed to talk to them and let them know, look, wait. But like I said, we dropped the ball with my granddaughter. She was very rebellious, and what she went through with bullying, it turned to something else. But I love her. She probably listening to me now. I love her. I don't judge her. Everybody go through something. Everybody make mistakes. But she have a beautiful son, and that's my baby. And when it come down to stuff like that, we have to talk to our children. We have to, y'all. We have to talk to them. Let them know how important it is, because you could have a child that is probably going to be getting ready to go pro, probably a good basketball player, a good football player. And, they got people looking at him. He eventually one day might go pro, but he's afraid to continue his academics. He's afraid to continue to do the activities because he's being bullied. Why do you think this person that do basketball real good, or you see scouts looking out at them, you see this person beginning to be, might one day even be in the NBA, you know, anything like that, when children are successful in doing things like that, instead of people telling them they're doing a good job, and then other kids, they feel a certain way. They feel a certain way when another child is able to move up or able to do better for themselves. And instead of telling them, wow, that's good, we're happy for you, no, some children, even adults, they'll rather tear you down and say, you did good. I love that game you had. You really did good. And sometimes our children, y'all, but that's what we're talking about today, the effects of how bullying affect our children. Um, and those effects, hey y'all, if y'all didn't see me, those effects go into adulthood. You know, sometimes you can be scorned. You know how people be scorned. Some people be scorned. They been through something for years, and then thank you for the apples. Can I get some more apples? Thank you. But you understand what I'm saying, right, Miss Key? I know you talk to your son, but if you ever see something out of the ordinary, like your child, like most of the time, we know what our children do when they come home from school. Um, if they have had a good day at school, you might hear them talking about it, and then again, you might not. But if your child come home just being different, not eating, not talking, not even talking about their day, about how good they had a good game, if they're in sports, if they come home just being totally different, it's time to talk to them. Find out what's going on. You know, find out what's going on, and See what can be done. Because if a child is being bullied, to me, bullying is just like another form of abuse. Because you're using verbal words. Bullying do always try to fight you. So it's just another part of abuse to me. It's just verbal abuse, emotional abuse, all of it fall in the same category. Um, like my kids going to a new school. I'm gonna be worried. For all of them going to different school. When they was down here, they was riding the same bus. But now all three of them got to be on different buses. The little one, she'll get home before the oldest two. But I always tell them, use your mind. Don't follow the crowd. Do not be a follower. Because sometimes those followers will lead you off to somewhere you ain't got no business being. So I will be praying for my kids. And I'll be praying for all the children this school year. I'll be praying for them all school year, praying for the teachers, the bus drivers, the principals, everybody that is involved with the school system. I'll be praying that everyone have a good, safe year. You know, we have witnessed so many school shootings. We have witnessed so many children being attacked. You know, like when I was reading about how children would go to school, have their hair. You know, some places people judge people about the way they dress, the way they wear their hair, discriminate. It's a lot of discrimination going out there too. You know, I have read where some kids can't go to school because they have dreads in their hair, they have braids in their hair. What has that got to do with your education? You going to school to learn. Long as you're decent. Yes, I read where they suspended a child for dreadlocks, or they have policies where they don't want their children to wear braids in their hair. The time have changed. Time have changed. People are um basically wearing what they want, but all schools does have rules. All the schools does have dress codes, different things they can wear. They couldn't wear. Well, we was wearing things that they can't wear now. You know what I'm saying? Right now they can wear the sticky in shoes. You believe in Frank? Yeah, I have read articles where children. I think I had did this on Black History. I did that Black History show that day. I had to crop it out because it was they claimed that was a copy claim. But I was did a show about this girl applied for a job. I think Miss Key remember that show I did. Where this girl applied for a job and they didn't want to hire her because of the way her hair was looking. That's crazy. I mean, she had color in her hair and she had her hair like twisted or something like that. It was like a restaurant. You know, I didn't see nothing wrong with her hair. I didn't see nothing wrong with her hair. It was up. It was like it was up neat, but it was like in dread or something like that. Yeah, people judge people about the way they look, but people don't realize when you going to school, if you got a job, you have to look at people's work ethic, what they do on a job. Don't look at their appearance. They judged her because of her hair, and they did not want her working there. And she was a young girl. She was a young girl. Hey, Conscious, how you doing? That's why I said sometimes people don't realize the things they say or the things they do how to affect people mentally. You know, yeah, that was a girl. She was a young girl, and she was trying to find a job to help her parent. You know, she was in school, and her mom had died, and they fired her. She was a good worker, but I think she filed a lawsuit. I think Miss Key was over that day when I did that show. And that's bad, y'all, when people are being judged about their appearance. Now, I can see a person going to a job with their clothes hanging off their butt, or They come in, but now that's how they wearing their jeans. They wearing a jeans with holes in them now. I mean, you could be in the store. They got jeans hanging up in the store with holes in them. But it's a time and place for everything. I feel like interview, if you're doing an interview, or you, like, for instance, if you're on judge, like, jury duty, when you be on jury duty too, they don't want you dressed in a certain way. It's a certain way you have to come to jury duty, because they look at you like you gonna be on the jury. They want to be paying attention to the case. They don't want to be up there with someone on jury with all this hanging out. Now I can see they have an aggressive code when it come down to court. Cause some of these people pop up in the courtroom with booty shorts on and halter tops. So you have to have those ground rules. You have to have those rules in place when it come down to you dealing with business. You said uh, they do that in church too, about wearing what they want. Yeah, yeah, Frank. Because when we was coming up, I never wore pants to church. I didn't start wearing pants until things got, as the time changed. I would always wear a dress or a skirt. But now people wearing jeans to church. People wearing what they want to wear. They wearing what they want to wear. But, there are some signs where it's discrimination on some of these things too. And that kind of stuff can lead up to bullying. So why you do have to be careful what you put out in the atmosphere, because sometimes it'll come back to bite you. It'll come back and get you. But that's what I was talking about today. So all the children that going back to school, I wish you much success. I pray that you have a good year. We don't need to be hearing about children getting shot up. We don't need to be hearing about children getting suspended for what they wore, or how their hair was. Anything like that. That is, to me, that's not necessary. As long as a person is presentable, let them come to your class. Let them come to school. Now, they know that sagging. When we talking about that sagging that day, I can't stand that. I still can't stand that. It ain't that bad as it used to be, but you still see people walking down the road with underwear showing. That irks my nerves. That really irks my nerves. It irked my nerve. I see my grandson. Boy, you don't come out. You think you going out of the house like that? No. Mm-mm. That's right. Come as you are. God gonna love you for who you are. He's not looking at your clothes. He's not looking at your hair. It's the soul, it's the spirit. But times have changed, everybody. And when it comes down to bullying, the way they doing bullying now, and the way they were doing nowadays, Frank, people weren't studying about that. They weren't studying about reporting it. They would fight their battles themselves. And then if the teacher get involved, well, they still doing that. That's why I wanted to be a teacher. But then I said, ooh, Lord, you'll get hurt out there at school, especially if you try to stop a fight. Try to stop a fight. You'll be one get that leg. And see, now they got it change. You saw what today? What you saw today, Frank? It's happening. It is happening. It happens every day with this bullying and cyberbullying. That's why you have kids, monitor their internet time. Like I tell my daughter, I said, boy be in that room all day. You don't know what he be in that. He be on that game. I said, T, what is he in that room doing on the phone? You need to start finding out what he looking at. Ain't no telling what that child is not looking at on the phone. see what they got going on. See what they looking. See who they following. Oh, you saw two girls looking crazy wearing stuff. Wow. And see, it always go back to your home, the way you be raised. But they got rules in these schools. There's certain things you can't wear. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Good to see you. Do you have any children? Do you have any children going back to school? I was talking about the bullying and the way, you have to protect your kids, talk to your children, find out what's going on. If you feel that your children are being bullied, if you feel like, things are happening to them in the out of the ordinary, like if their grades are dropping, or if the grades are dropping, they start changing the way they eat, they start changing the way they dress. It's a reason behind when they do these things. In other words, be involved. Talk to your children. See where they head at. Make sure. Oh, okay. I don't know how you was, but did you? Let me ask you too, Frank. Did y'all have bullies at y'all school, or was y'all a bully? I'm asking the question now. Did y'all have bullies going to school, or were y'all a bully? Now, which one you were, Frank? Which one you were, Kenny? Did you like to fight? Did someone bully you? I didn't like to fight. I think I got into one little incident at school. I can remember. I can remember today how that happened. Oh, it was crazy, really. I remember going to the office, and it was my best friend. Me and her, I don't know what was going on that day. She was picking at me, Well, I guess I did. I had a curl, right? I feel pretty good, y'all. I'm laughing. When them curls were coming out, them curly hits. I used to have a curly kid. And I used to have my hair sprayed down. She said my curly kid juice was on her, dropping on her paper. Yeah. She jumped up and got me, right? And I'm like, I didn't know that. You know how them wet curls used to be back in the day? Them shiny curls, putting that activate on your head. And she was messing with me. And we supposed to be friends, even though she was like, we're just joking. I was just joking. But that's why I said I never been like the type to tease, or I never was into that. I was never into trying to roast nobody or make another person feel belittle or who they are and things like that. Hey, welcome back in. Nala girl, good to see you. I have a Jerry curl. you know how them Jerry curl used to be. Let me see what Frank and Kenny was saying. And that stuff used to be slinging. I had to take out my bullet. Ooh, the last day of school. He hit me with a big ball, and I like, oh my God. For real, Frank? I read you had took enough, huh? Wow. So after that happened, he was still messing with you? Hey, no, girl. Today I'm talking about bullying and cyberbullying. School is starting back up, and ways we can prevent bullying if we can. But if somebody messing with you, sometimes you tell those teachers, I'm drinking a little water. You can tell those teachers, and they're like, okay, well, what you doing? If you say, he messing with me, first thing they'll say, well, what are you doing? Instead of taking both children, bringing both children to the office and talk to both of them. And then sometimes they don't do that, and then it lead up to an altercation. If you can avoid some of these things, do. Sometimes people are mean to me. I used to get beat up a lot. For real, Kenny? Wow. Yeah, it's some mean kids out there. Miss Key, were you a bully? Why Miss Key? Miss Key, or Nolan girl. Y'all can try to write a trooper. Y'all link will drop. Miss Key and Notlin girl. I think I'm saying there, Notlin's girl. Did anybody bully y'all or y'all bullied somebody? Tell the truth, Big Key. Did you beat somebody up? Big Key, you don't look like Big Key, you don't look like you would have beat nobody. But did anybody used to bully y'all? Frank said I was doing my schoolwork and he stopped messing with me after that. All right, see, you know what, y'all? It don't take but one time. When somebody met with you and you have to put them straight just one time, let them know where you stand, let them know what you mean, they'll leave you alone. See, I'm like this right here. I don't bully people. I say what I say and I mean what I say and I go about my business. You know, you don't have to carry on with stuff for years and years and months and months. I'm through with it. I'm through with it. And you know, we have, look. Oh my God, I was looking at Kamala Harris the other night, y'all. Woo-woo. She told Donald Trump, oh, I can't laugh to her, my chest hurt. But she told Donald Trump, if you got something to say it in my face. Ooh, she went ghetto then, y'all. She went ghetto then. Hey, Wellness, how you doing? Good to see you. We're talking about bullying and our kids are getting ready to go back to school. And I know you got some little happy birthday, Wellness. Let's say I have Wellness happy birthday. I ain't got a chance to come over on your channel, you know. I had been sick. I'm just trying to bounce back. Y'all make sure y'all follow my journey. I started cutting back. I'm on fiber grains, no dairy food, no sweets. I got to go by the list of food the doctors are giving me because I got to eliminate food that hurt, you know, just give me flare up. So y'all just follow my journey. I'm doing a 30-day makeover, okay? I'll be doing different foods. Hey, Tamika. And we're talking about today, you know, school year has started. And we're prepared for our kids to have a good school year. Let's tell Wellness happy birthday, y'all. Can we tell Wellness happy birthday? I think her birthday was the other day. Let's give her some balloons and flowers, everybody. Happy birthday, Wellness, and I hope you had a beautiful birthday. Um, and you say it was right in front of the class when you hit. Ooh. Sometimes, like I said, now you have to get people straight. Sometimes it don't take violence all the time, but sometimes you really have to let a person know where you stand. You have to let a person know where you stand. So if you got children going to school this year, Tamika, how's your kids? I know you got a son in school. So do you have children in school? Do they pick at your children? Same go for you, Wellness. When you was coming up, did you have anybody bullying you? Tamika, when you was coming up, did you have anybody bullying you or you was a bully? That's the question I was asking. Yeah, let's show Fugal Mama some love. Let's give her some balloons and happy birthday. Um, so Wellness, when you was in school, did anyone try to bully you or did you try to bully someone? And do you talk to your children? I know I'm sure you do talk to your boys about bullying and defending themselves and do what they got to do to, so you know, children be at school like what 6-7 hours, and you know you already half of them already don't want to be there, and you don't want nobody coming in there messing with you. You don't want nobody coming in there messing with you. You already got to sit there through a history class. You don't know if you're gonna pass the test or not, and then somebody gonna come in there messing with you. So that what happened. I was in history class, and like I said, I had a Jerry curl back in the day, right? And I might have had a little bit too much juice on my head. And when I shook my head, my juice got on my friend paper. But she wanted to get bad and wanted to fight me, y'all, because I had a little curly kid juice on her paper. But you know, back in the day, them curly kids were out of control. You know, y'all know them wet curls. Those wet Jerry curls. Know what I had? And you know, she jumped me, right? She tried to jump me, and me and her, we still friends today. But I'm just saying, to my girl, you had all that stuff on your head, and we in the class doing our work. I guess I had a little bit too much, but we had to go to the office. I think I don't know if we passed licks or what, but I remember I was sitting in front of her. She was behind me, and I guess that little activator got on her paper, and she come up behind me, y'all. I tell you, hey, how you doing? Buddha love. Buddha might be live. I ain't know she was live. Tamika said I got bullied and my son got bullied that time, but I handled it. Wow. That's what I'm saying. We got to be able to handle these bullies, y'all. You know, if it gets so bad where, what, Frank? I'm missing some. Frank said, ooh, you were throwing chairs. What? You didn't get suspended, Frank? But yeah, I think that was the first time I had an altercation. Hey, welcome in. How you doing? We talking about bullying, honey. You know, we get prepared because the kids have started back to school. And hey, Trent, how you doing? I didn't know you were live. Y'all live? I didn't know you were live. But yeah, we talking about bullying and getting our kids prepared for the school year. Talk to them, let them know what's going on. And I was asking the question. I'm asking you, Trending. Was you a bully or was someone bullying you? Who else came here? Mobile. Okay, the question I would ask, were you a bully or did someone used to bully you? And if you have children, do you talk to your children about the bullies? You know, like I said, bullying to me is a sign of weakness, cowardness, abuse, where people in cyberbullying to me is a sign of weakness and cowardness. Like the woman say, you got something you want to tell me. Good. Kamala Harris told Donald Trump, you got something you want to say it to my face. And people don't do that. They won't come in your face and tell you what you want. They would rather get behind the computer screen and type. That's why I call those cyber bullies right there. They be afraid to affront you. Those are those messy people. Yeah, people will test you that. That woman, I said, oh, go ahead, Kamala. Go ahead. Can we see some blue hearts in the chat? Yeah, I'm voting blue. Anybody come here and talk about Trump, you can, but that's where I'm going. I'm going on the blue wave. Yep, sure is. But anyway, get back to this bullying. Bullying can be so bad. And I'm sorry to hear about that. Tamika, they was bullying your baby, the one you always be telling me about. The one that is got autism, they was bullying him. Wow. And like I said, if you got relatives at your school and they see where you're getting bullied, you're going to see your kinfolk come out the class. You're going to see them coming out the bushes. That's one thing about children these days. You got to fight the whole family. You start at one, you're going to fight the auntie, the mama, the daddy, the sisters and brother down the street. Especially these folks up here in my hometown. If one child get into it, the whole family going to be into it. I'm just going to tell you. I used to be out there playing softball, right? When I had my good legs and everything, right? A fight used to break out all the time. Somebody mess with somebody else's child. And these days, the adults, thank you for the raid. These days, the adults, they just the worst of their children, y'all. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. These days, the parents are just as worse as the children. It can be something the simplest things. Okay, thank you, Buddha. Buddha, I already asked you, was you a bully? You told me you wasn't. But you have witnessed a lot of children getting bullied, right? And you said you had got bullied, like you said something about your brother used to mess with you all the time. And that was a sign of bullying, wasn't it? Because I'll tell you about my brother there. They used to be messing with me, but they didn't never bully me. They was like, they used to be picking at me, you know. Yeah, I remember my ex you told me no, but like I said, up here in our little area, don't let no one child get into it. That parent, I'm telling you, that parent would be out there finna fight somebody else's child. And I don't think that's right, y'all. I don't think that's right. I think adults should stay in adult situations. Kids should be in kids. Instead of some of these parents, I'm going to tell you now, and y'all know I'm telling the truth. Instead of some of these parents trying to stop the fight, they help pushing it up. They help pushing the fights up. So if an adult messing with somebody else's child, ain't that bullying? Ain't that bullying, y'all? If another parent is at another child, instead of you being a parent trying to stop the fight, you out there saying, cussing another child out there, heck on their mama, daddy, auntie, sister from out of town, just be a whole mess. So if there's some things to be avoided, we have to avoid those things. Say what you're going to say. If you're going to do what you're going to do it and be done with it. But they won't do that. Those cowards won't do that. They rather keep going. Keep going. They keep being at you. They keep being at you. Hey, living for Jesus. How you doing? I'm feeling pretty good. Look, I'm on a rant over here. I'm talking about how these bullies be carrying on and how some parents, instead of those parents telling the children, oh, y'all shouldn't be doing that, they be right along with them. They used to hate when summertime used to come up here in where we live, especially when during the time when they have basketball, softball games and activities. And you know how fights just start up, right? Instead of those parents, that's one thing what irked me. You have those parents out there trying to fight other people's children. How you set an example for your children if you out here with your children? Somebody gotta have some common sense. Yeah, I know them teachers. They'll be, oof. It was a fight went out over here at our school, at my daughter and them school before they left. The children were beating up the deputies. Lord have mercy. It was crazy. They had like school deputies out there, right? I seen the video. The man had his stick. They trying to say the man was hitting the children, but he was like, it looked like he was hitting them with that black stick, but he was trying to get them to stop. It was a whole mess. And the parent was in it, the children. It was just, oh my God. And they put it on social media. You know, every time something like that happens, you gonna see it on social media. What Liver Jesus said, people don't raise any children nowadays. They run around like wolves. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your kids know better, so you do talk to your children. I know you do have kids. I think I seen your daughter in somebody's chat one day. We have to. It starts at home, everybody. It starts at home. It's according to how you were raised. I don't pick at people. I don't bully people. That ain't me. What would I get out of being a bully? Nothing. I don't cyberbully people. I don't put people pictures and say bad things about people on my channel. I just say, look, I'll say something in general, and it's up to you to take it the way you take it, but I'm not after nobody. I got 2 other stuff going on in my life to be at anybody. I got real life issues. You see what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people be on their computer doing it right here. Doing it. That I call them the computer gangsters. Y'all see what I'm doing? This way. They be steady typing. Did you see what you call on her panel? Mm-hmm. Don't you see them over there? Type. Y'all know they ain't come to my channel. Look. Steady typing. Steady typing. That's cyberbullying. Cowards. And if anybody's cyberbullying you, anybody's cyberbullying your children, report it because it's a crime. It's a crime. Know what I'm saying? It's a way of handling everything. It's a way of handling everything. When I was coming up, like I said, I think I got into it one time. And it was a misunderstanding about my hair juice flying everywhere. That was kids used to pick at me, sometimes you can ignore, but then there are times where you can't. And if it get to the point where you have to involve your parents, the police, the school system, it's time that something have to give. That's what we vote for, everybody. That's why our votes are so important. If your teacher's not treating your child right, your principal, that principal, the lunchroom crew, anybody at that school is not treating your child right, that's where you go to the school board. You go to the school board. You report them. If the principal is not doing their job, you supposed to report them. They supposed to replace them. They don't, because they had a petition going on about a teacher over here in our way. A lot of people didn't like the teacher, so I saw on social media where they was signing names about how she be treating the kids. We do have voices, y'all. Our voices can be heard. Don't let nobody mistreat your children. I don't care if they grown. I got 2 grown kids. When they hurt, I hurt. I got 3 grandkids and a great grand. When they hurt, I hurt. I'm not going to let nobody mistreat them, and I know about it. I ain't saying I'm going to go out there and be gangster, but if it's something I can do, if we have to handle it the legal way, that's what'll be done. But sometimes you have to get gangster. You have to get gangster sometimes, y'all. For real now. They got too much time on. Ooh, girl. You know what? I'm glad, they're going back to school. Focus on your schoolwork. Focus on what you want to do when you get out of school. Because they have probably children on these social media pushing, bullying others and doing all kind of stuff. And then some of the parents, instead of them checking their followers and see who they following, they like, oh, they all right. They ain't doing that, but you got to know what your children doing. That little grandson of mine be in that room like, but what you doing in there? What you looking at? Who you fight with? Grandma, I'm on robot. Or he be saying, I'm playing games. Or if I hear him in there watching stuff like a lot of cursing, and I go in there right quick. And then I tell my little granddaughter, no way. Y'all don't need to be watching nothing like that. I tell them quick. Now, when they ain't around my eyesight now, they might do it. But when they around me, I let them know it quick. We ain't finna be hearing all that. And I'm like, they see all that on them games. We got a lot of gaming channels. And, I sit there and watch some games. But some of those games are just like real life stuff going on. I be watching Knots. He be having some games. And I be like, Knots, that game looks so real. They be cursing on them. I'm not saying Knots, but there are games where, they be doing a lot of cursing and this and that. And your children pick up on those things. Yeah. That's true, Frank. That's true. Some of the parents are on social media with them. That's right. You got to set those examples. You got to. Like my daughter and son, they on Facebook and, they grown. But it was one time I had to step in. I saw a girl trying to bless my son. I was telling y'all about the child. The girl was trying to say the child was my son, right? And she just went on like a fool on social media, y'all. And I usually don't, I don't want to get in my children, adult children, personal business. But I couldn't just sit there, let this girl talk about my son the way she did. After she saw what kind of parent I was, that girl blocked me. She told my son, tell your mama now stay out my page. She just belittling my son. She was belittling my son, calling him a deadbeat, saying all kind of things to my son. That's the one I was telling about, the baby when he was none of his. Instead of her saying things to my son off social media, she brought it to social media. And my children were like, Mama, don't say nothing. Tell my husband, don't say nothing. But we just, only thing I had said, why are you putting that on there about my son? Why are you saying that about my son? This girl, she took everything to social media. She knew the child wasn't my son, but she was on there trying to make it seem like my son was doing her so bad. Like he was doing this, he was doing that. But it was her all along. It was her all along. But when my son did the DNA, the child wasn't even on here. It was he was heartbroken. We all was. But the thing, what I'm saying, people rather bring stuff to social media instead of dealing with real life stuff. It's good to post stuff on social media. I mean, I came to Facebook. I met a lot of my classmates, people that I hadn't seen in years. It's good to be able to connect with people out of town. But when it comes down to my personal business, what's going on in my bedroom or livelihood, it ain't nobody's business. It ain't social media business. It's a time and place for everything. Uh, you got the grandmother down. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. Yes. When me and my husband was going out, and when my daughter and son got old enough, I said, it's time for us to sit down. It's time for us to sit down. Some be out there partying together. Like I do a lot with my children. Like we go to vacations and this and that. But you have to know where to draw the line when it comes to your children. I could be a friend, but I'm mom, I'm a parent all day long. That title never changes. It's good to have that relationship with your kids, but you don't have to uphold them. If I know my children, if every one of my kids was bullying somebody, you think I'm going to be like, yeah, get them. You think I'm going to cheer him on or her on? Why would I do that? Because bullying is not fun. I don't want nobody to bully nobody because that affect people mentally. You have long-term effects, depression, all kind of stuff. It'll go into your adulthood. So that's what I want to talk about today, y'all. I just want to share that bullying is very important to discuss. I talk about it a lot over here because I have grandkids. I don't want to bully nobody. I don't want nobody to bully me. I don't want to cyberbully nobody. I don't want to, it's the same way with my children. Because that's not good. That's not good. A lot of people can't handle stuff like that. Like they was talking about the boy with allegedly, the boy that shot at Donald Trump. They said that he was being bullied. I know I saw him wear a Band-Aid a couple of days. I ain't seen the scar, but that's another story. But anyway, let me see what kid say. I got bullied real bad when I was in the 5th grade. I will tell you about it in the comments after you streamed. What? It's a long story. Oh my God. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Was this something that was just all of a sudden? I mean, you know how some people just just mean and evil. You know, I think a lot of kids when they bully children, it's a lot to do with they want what another child have, or they wonder how you got what you got, or like some children be popular, more popular than other kids, which that been going on for years. We have the popular kids, the best dressed kids, the kids be like they be in groups and categories and things like that. It doesn't matter where you might think you fit in at, you still shouldn't hurt nobody's feelings. Some children are not fortunate enough to get a brand new pair of shoes or wear a brand new pair of shoes every week or every month. You say it went on for a few months. For real, Kenny? Did you have to get the police involved? Wow. And thankful that it didn't have no impact on you as an adult. And that's what we're saying. The impact of being bullied and cyberbullying can affect you mentally. It can bother you at a long term. It'll go into your adulthood. And it can be where when you have children, if your children know you've been through that, they feel like they can do another child like that. That's where, we have to have that guidance that, where we have to let our children know that is not fun. It's not good to bully no one. I talk about it a lot on my channel. I do awareness on it. I even have some shirts in my store. Y'all can check that out. Stop bullying. I do a lot of awareness shirt. I do different things like that. If anybody want anything made, let me know. But yes, I try to put things out here on my channel that I think it would be helpful for someone. If you know someone being bullied, please contact, get involved. Let your parents know. If you can't talk to your parents about it, at least talk to somebody you trust. Don't hold that in because it will have long term effect on you. It'll have long term effect. And then as you get older, you'll probably wish you had dealt with it. A lot of people hold things in. A lot of people hold things in. You know, Kenny, you said you was bullied at fifth grade. So did you tell someone? Um, how did it stop? And like I said, sometimes you just have to put people in their place and let it go. Frank said he had to do what he had to do. Frank said he was throwing chairs and he did what he did, knocked the boy out. And once you let a person know that you're not scared of them, you see, that's why I said bullies are weak and cowards because of the fact that if you stand up to them, when you stand up to them, you letting them know you ain't got power over me. Bullying is just like a sign of abuse, just like abuse. When people try to abuse you in a way, verbally or physically, they feel like they got that upper hand on you. But once you start fighting back, they start be like, they got balls, ain't they? They getting strong. I'm just saying, you don't have to let people take that power from you. You don't. Wow, kid, I'm sorry about that. I mean, person that get abused at an early age, and some people don't. I'm just being honest. Cause when we found out my granddaughter was getting bullied, she told my son. She told my son, and cause she wanted to kill herself. She already knew that I wasn't gonna be able to handle it, but I was able to be strong about it, and every time that's one of the reasons I do talk about it, because I could have lost my granddaughter to that. My granddaughter was getting bullied so bad where she wanted to kill herself. And that's why if I can tell a child, that's why I was feeling the way I was feeling about that little girl Nope. When she came in saying she was being bullied and did nobody want to listen to her. And she came into my chat. I tried to do everything I could to help her. I haven't seen her in a couple of days, but I'm assuming she did get the help she's supposed to get. And that's what a lot of people do. They reach out to strangers because they feel like their relatives, their friends will judge them. And that's bad when you go through that. Hold on, I got a phone call. Hold on. I'm back. But I'm sorry to hear about the anybody that get bullied, that was getting bullied at a young age,